talk about the constant. So under the source code folder, now you can see it's already running right here. It's already running, compiled successfully. So input the address of the localhost, and it is running. Let's open the console window. Well, now it's still let.js. Okay, so under the static folder we create constant.js. Again, this is constant.js, right? We need to import that static const. Yeah, this is const, this is index. Alright, so I'm gonna talk about several things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things in total about const. So first to 5 is exactly same as let, the let keyword. So first, const variable is different from window attribute. Again, const a equal to 1, b equal to 2, b. A is 1, B is 2. Delete A. Delete B. So B is not defined. It means that B has been deleted because B is an attribute. Window object. A is not. A is a constant. Alright. So same thing as let. Right? So const cannot be redeclared. Const A C 5 const C not 5 3 4. And that event has already been declared. So suppose we have constant C, missing an initializer in constant this declaration. Let's do it separately. 3, missing initializer in constant declaration. So it means that there's only one correct way to declare constant C, is just declare that in one line like this. B is not defined. Okay. Let's display C. Yeah. A1, B2, C3. So C has been declared initialized successfully. Three, const can be promoted, which is also same as let, right? So if true, console log d and const d equal to 4. Can now access the view for initialization. So it means whenever you want to use this constant, you have to declare that first, right? Const has It's log scope. True. Const e equal to 5. E is not defined, right? So because it's after scope, when you put the console log into the bracket, it's working. E is 5, right? Same thing as let. Number 5, const as temporary dead zone, which is right here, right? So you put that before, right? Cannot access D because it's now put D under in the temporary dead zone. So whenever you want to use it, you have to declare it first. The one last thing, which is the most important part in today, is object in the object of constant, or a constant object. So now there is a fundamental thing you need to know first. In the JS5, there are 8 types of data. Basically, 2 categories. First one is basic data type, include string, number, boolean, null, undefined. Reference data type, object, function, array. The difference is these data, the basic data types, are stored in the stack memory, and these are stored in the heap memory. So actually, the content of this data are stored in the heap category. What does it mean? So object and array are also belong to basic data type in JS5, whereas object has point to address, which is stored in the stack memory, and the address point to some contents. For example, object include a name, vehicle, right? And these contents are stored in the heap memory. Why do I mention this? So, for example, obj const obj equal to name vehicle age. Okay, so when you want to modify this object, because this is a const, this object has been declared with the constant keyword, right? So now we want to display this first, obj. See what happens. Yeah, obj name vehicle age 28, no problem. Now we want to modify this object. So obj.name equal to vehicle is good. Yeah, now its vehicle is good. So you declare object with constant keyword, but the attribute of that object has already been modified by which looks like not constant enough. It means it is simple because the attribute of this object is stored in the heap. In the heap memory. So it is not in the stack memory. So which part of this object cannot be modified? The address. Address cannot be modified. It always points to the same address. But the attribute can be modified. So for example, if you wanna the attribute of the obj object cannot be modified, you can use this method. It's called Object.freeze obj. So now it's vehicle. It has already been freezed. It is that's the difference between the light and the constant, right? So there are pretty much everything. And if you want to go into another detail of this object, for example, so we just add a new attribute to this object. It's called skills. We give it like another two internal attribute coding. Java and duration 1 year. Now it's vehicle Java duration 1 and freezed object.freeze Java duration 1. We want to modify this again. Name skills dot coding to JavaScript. Vehicle skill. Now it's JavaScript. It is JavaScript. So it has the object has been the constant object has already been modified again. Why? Because you only this can only freeze first level of first level attributes. So if you wanna you don't want to be modified the skills be modified, you can just do it like this. Skills. We just tap it manually. So let's back to this. It's Java. So right. So skills cannot be modified this time. Yeah. Yeah. This is pretty much everything I'm gonna talk about. Like the 5 or 6 points of constant. This part is the most. this part is the most important part. Another parts are pretty similar. These parts are all similar to light. Not similar, exactly the same thing. And the only difference is just right here. Right? You need to understand how to modify when the attribute of object has been modified. It doesn't mean that the object has been modified, because the address of the object has never been modified, because the address of the object has been stored in the stack memory. Finish.